Good morning, students. Today we will be learning about basic concepts of geometry. Now, what is geometry? Geometry is a branch of mathematics which deals with properties and relations with lines, angles, surfaces, and solids. Just as math deals with numbers, geometry, and figures, points, and lines, geometry deals with angles, surfaces, and solids. Now, what is a point? A point is usually represented by a small dot, a line. It can be shown on a blackboard with any color. Line. A line is the shortest distance between two segments, and plane is a flat surface. Now we will study about angles. Now what is an angle? Angles is basically two sides having a common center or a single vertex is known as an angle. There are three types of angle: acute angle, obtuse angle, and right angle triangle. Now acute angle is an angle less than 90 degree, or any angle which measures less than 90 degree is called as acute angle, whereas an obtuse angle is an angle which is greater than 90 degree but measures less than 90 degree. So any angle which measures more than 90 degree but is less than 180 degree is called as obtuse angle triangle. And lastly, right angle triangle. Which the angle which is 90 degree is called as right angle. Now we will learn about triangles. Triangle is an enclosed figure. Triangles is an enclosed figure with three sides. Triangles can be represented based on their sides and angles. For example, a triangle having three sides equal is called as an equilateral triangle, whereas a triangle having only two sides equal is called as isosceles triangle. The next is scalene triangle. Scalene triangle is a triangle which does not have any sides equal, or a triangle whose sides, all three sides, are of different lengths. So we will revise once again. What are angles? Angles are two sides with common vertex. The three types of angle: acute angle. Any angle which measures less than 90 degrees is called as acute angle. Obtuse angle. Any angle which measures more than 90 degree but less than 180 degree is called as an obtuse angle. Then right angle. Any angle which measures 90 degree is called as right angle. Now triangle. Triangles are, as we studied earlier, are enclosed figures with three sides. On basis of their lengths, they are classified into three types, that is equilateral triangle, isosceles triangle, scalene triangle. An equilateral triangle is a triangle whose all three sides are equal. For example, let's assume a triangle ABC having lengths 6, 6, and 6. This example is of equilateral triangle. Now isosceles triangle. Any triangle which has two sides equal is called as isosceles triangle. For example, triangle ABC has two sides of 7 centimeter and one side of 8 centimeter. So triangle ABC becomes an isosceles triangle. Scalene triangle. A scalene triangle whose all three sides are unequal is called a scalene triangle. For example, a triangle ABC having lengths 6, 7, and 8 is a perfect example of a scalene triangle. Now let's move on to another topic called as circle. Now what is a circle? Circle is the equidistant. Circle is a figure formed from points. A figure of points equidistant from the center is called as a circle. Now half of circle is known as diameter, and the half of diameter is known as radius. We can define radius as half of diameter is called as radius. So formula for radius becomes radius is equals to diameter divided by 2, whereas diameter can be diameter can be classified as 2 times of radius is called as diameter. Then circumference. Circumference of circle is represented by pi r or 2 pi r. Half of semicircle or basically half of circle is pi r, and for example whole circle of circle is 2 pi r. Whereas whereas in case we have to calculate area of circle, we can calculate it by pi r square. So let's take an example that a circle having radius 3 centimeter, diameter, a circle having a radius of 3 centimeter, calculate its diameter. So as we studied, what is the formula of diameter? Diameter is equals to 2r. So 2 times 2 multiplied by r is equals to diameter. So here diameter radius is given as 3. So 2 into 3 is equal to 6. Therefore our diameter of circle is 6. Similarly, we can take another example of circle. In this case, we will calculate the radius. A diameter of let's assume there is a circle with center O and having a there is a circle with center O and has a diameter of 8 centimeter. Calculate the radius. So as we studied earlier, the formula for diameter is equals to the formula for radius is equals to diameter divided by 2. So in this case diameter is 8. So 8 divided by 2 is 2 times 4 is 8. So radius is equals to 4 centimeter. So our radius of circle having 8 centimeter diameter is the radius is 4 centimeter. Now we will summarize all the concepts we learned today. What is geometry? Line, segment, plane, point, angles, triangles and circle. Firstly, we studied what is geometry. Geometry is a branch of mathematics which deals with properties and relations with lines, angles, surfaces and solids. Whereas maths deals with numbers, geometry specifically deals with figures, points, lines, patterns, etc. Then we study about point. Point is anything which is represented by a dot, a small dot of any color. Then we studied about line. Line is the shortest distance between 2 points. For example, assume a point A to B. The distance between A to B is line. Then line segment. When line is extended from 2 points, it becomes a line segment. Then plane. Plane is any flat surface. For example, this pad, it has a flat surface, so this is the plane of the pad. Then we studied about ray. Ray is a figure having a fixed point is called as the ray. Then we studied about triangles. Triangles is then we studied about angles. Angles are two sides with common vertex. It has 3 types: acute angle, obtuse angle and right angle. Then we studied about triangles. Triangles is an enclosed figure with 3 sides. In that we studied about 3 types: equilateral triangle, isosceles triangle and scalene triangle. Next we studied about circle. Circle is a figure formed of points equidistant from center. It has circumference, radius, diameter and area. Radius is calculated as diameter divided by 2. Diameter is calculated as 2 into r and circumference is calculated as 2 pi r, whereas area of circle is calculated as pi r square. So we should revise these concepts and now take an homework. Calculate the distance of Calculate the length of radius having a diameter of 10 centimeter with center O. This is the one example, and classify the following angles, as I will attach the PPT. Classify the following angles whether as acute, obtuse or right angle triangle. Thank you.